I often get a question, can you cheat in a poly relationship? If you have any questions or curiosities about kinky stuff, poly stuff, or atheist stuff, go ahead and send me an email, ask@kinkypolyatheist.com. You can also just put something in the comments. So what does it mean to cheat? In a monogamous relationship, if your boyfriend or girlfriend goes to coffee with someone, is that cheating? If they go to dinner with someone, alone, without you, of course, is that cheating? If they are sending texts to your best friend, is that cheating? If they are sending texts to your best friend and meeting them up for coffee and probably seeing them maybe 3 hours, 4 hours a week, is that cheating? If your partner is going through some emotional stuff and they're not sharing it with you, but they're sharing it with your best friend, is that cheating? Right? There's so many things that we all dump into that cheaters category. And you need to understand that cheating is nothing more than breaking an agreement in your relationship. In a monogamous relationship, if you have agreed, unspoken or not, if you've agreed, no, we don't see each other's best friends without each other around, right? You're allowed to see my best friend, but it's because I'm here. You and my best friend hanging out, that's weird. That's not cool. Or vice versa, right? If that's cheating to you guys, if that's your agreement is you don't hang out with my best friend unless I'm there, and I'm not going to hang out with your best friend unless you're there, then doing so would break one of your agreements, and that would be cheating. So I'm making a pretty clear case. I'm just saying a relationship is full of agreements, both spoken and not spoken, and when you break an agreement, it could potentially be called cheating. So, in a monogamous relationship, if some agreements are spoken and some are not, it seems like it could be rough. It seems like you could be in a relationship where you can accidentally cross a line or break an agreement and not realize it, and the whole thing could explode. You could have a big argument about it or lose somebody because of it. So, wouldn't it be great if in a monogamous relationship, all of your agreements were clear and out in the open? So that's part of what the word open is actually referring to, right? You're open about your communication and your agreements. You don't hide things. There's no reason to hide things because your connection is so strong and your communication is so strong in this monogamous relationship, in this marriage, for example, that you can say anything to the other person and know that they're going to hear you. Even if you disagree, even if you have to talk through something, all of the agreements are out in the open. Wouldn't that be a great way to run a marriage? To have a marriage where if you're not allowed to say, kiss my best friend, then we actually had a conversation about it, and you know beyond a shadow of a doubt, kissing my best friend is a no-no compared to not knowing, compared to not having it out in the open. So we have a monogamous relationship, marriage, where all the communication is out in the open and all the agreements are out in the open. So if you break an agreement, you're making it very clear that it's broken because you knew what it was. The question is, was it on accident or was it on purpose? Right? I got drunk and I kissed your best friend. I'm sorry. Right? That leads to a whole other conversation. Well, you're going to drink less around my best friend now, right? All of these things are that people deal with in relationships. So let's go from monogamy to polyamory. In a poly relationship, now you have more people. So the way that I approach poly relationships is that when I first meet you, if we're going out on a date and things like that, I'm very open, right? All of my agreements that I've already made with myself and my other partners, I'm very open about that with you. You should know. You have a right to know. Hey, I'm dating somebody. Right now, we're not exclusive, but sometimes we get together and we have sex. Right now, I'm dating around, and I'm looking for some people in my life who will be here longer term. I feel no need to rush into anything with anyone. I would like to continue to date around, and I encourage you to date around as well. If we ever reach a point where we're, getting frisky, then I want to have a conversation about how we're going to keep it safe for each other and for our other partners. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, and I know that you probably would never feel yourself saying something like that if you're not used to poly relationships, but it really is that open. When you're in a poly circle, you can be that incredibly open with people you've just met. Can you cheat in a poly relationship? And the answer is absolutely. Absolutely. All you gotta do is break an agreement. If I say that, for example, if I say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm still working through this. The one person who's off bounds is my best friend. Please don't 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 go down that path with my best friend, please. And the other person agrees to that, which I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying, what if that happened? There could be a chance where she was with my best friend, and there you go, she broke an agreement. There could be, it could be more subtle than that. It could be I went out on a date with someone and never disclosed to them what the date was about, and that I had a girlfriend. That right there, that's breaking an agreement. That's cheating. But when I step outside our agreements and I kind of like go around them so I can get something, that is being shady. That is not ethical. That's breaking agreements or bending agreements, and that can be cheating very quickly. So the answer is yes. In a poly relationship, you can absolutely cheat on people. You can absolutely destroy relationships, which I do not recommend. Just be open and honest. And for the most part, you should be good to go. So I'm sure you can see by now, trust is a really big deal in any relationship. But when you have a poly relationship, it's even more. So here's a great example. I once went on a cruise. I met this gorgeous blonde woman who had a very pushy personality. She was gorgeous, she knew she was gorgeous, and she was not afraid to push her agenda. And her agenda was she liked me. At the time, I had a girlfriend and I was in an open relationship. I was actually living with this girlfriend. So I bumped into this blonde girl a couple times on the boat, and we kept having good interactions. And at some point, we decided to meet for coffee. And I told her, hey, I'm just going to be upfront with you. I'm in an open relationship. I have a girlfriend. I live with her. She knows that I'm here. No, she's not on the boat. Yes, I'm allowed to talk to you. In fact, we're allowed to do whatever we want. But I have to be upfront about it. One of the agreements of my relationship is that we always tell new potential people who might be intimate or playful in any way, I have a significant other. I'm in an open relationship. Would you care to meet them? Right? I will call her up, hand the phone to you, and let you talk to her if you would like. Right? I am not hiding this. Of course, she was not polyamorous, so it ended up being a very interesting conversation where she was having a really hard time wrapping her head around it, and that's okay. Like right away, I said, you know what? It's totally okay. We can just be awesome friends on this boat and not cross any lines. And you know what? You should probably go chase some hot guys that you're seeing, and I could root for you. I could be your best friend on the boat, and we don't have to worry about this, right? And she blurted out, well, clearly you don't love her. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I do. I live with her. Yeah, but you wouldn't be on a cruise without her. You wouldn't be talking to me if you loved her. Clearly you don't love her. And I'm going to pause right here and say, everything she was saying is a classic example of gaslighting. So if you ever experience something like that, someone telling you how you feel, that's gaslighting. Don't let it happen. I recognized it immediately. So I said, oh, okay, well, I'm letting you know that is how I feel. I'm in love with her. I'm allowed to love more than one person, and I'm not comfortable going forward with this because I don't like the way you're gaslighting me. And that was what put the brakes on that possible interaction with that person. I bumped into her a couple of times. She still expressed interest, but from my point of view, I'm not interested in someone who's willing to gaslight me and try and convince me I don't like the person I'm with or I don't love the person I'm with. That is just wrong. That's shady. That's not ethical. And while I'm on it, let's say I had that conversation with this woman, and right there and then, let's say she had said, Okay, so you have a girlfriend, you're in an open relationship. I'm not. I'm monogamous. Is there any way that we could kind of like be on this cruise together and just kind of like pretend like you don't have a girlfriend? Did you hear that? Like that right there, that would have been cheating. If I said, yeah, we could just hang out and pretend I don't have a girlfriend, that's cheating. That is breaking a rule or a commitment in my relationship. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're interested. You can email me. Please send them to ask@kinkypolyatheist.com. I'm Danny, and I will catch you guys next time.